Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Amber Rain Davis from NotableInk.com. I'm here today doing a little Copic coloring on some cute Lawn Fawn images for a Happy Halloween card. The card base that you see here is a 3x3 Bazzill Basics card that I got from Cardstock.com. These little cards were so cute. I thought they were perfect for these small little characters to create a little scene. These would be great for favors for your kids' class to hand out with the Halloween favors. So let's get started. I'll have the Copic colors listed, but we're going to do this little dinosaur costume as purple. And I went ahead and put down a base layer, actually 2 coats of the base layer of the lightest purple. And then I'm coming in with my mid-tone and then my darkest color for some shadows. I really kept the shadows simple here, nothing too significant. I'd say the biggest shadow is on the left side of the body and then just right on the crease of the nose there, I think adds nice dimension to the snout. Is that it? Snout for a dinosaur? Is that right? I don't know. But I think that adds nice dimension there. So you can see as I came back in with my mid-tone, I lost a little bit of the depth there. So I ended up doing 2 layers of each of the colors and then just kept blending. Next up, we'll do the face with just some simple colors, just E51, E33 to warm that up, and a little bit of BV00 to add a drop shadow for where the costume would be casting a shadow where it overhangs. And in fact, it might even cast more of a shadow because that snout comes out so far. It may cast more of a shadow than what I put there, but I just kept things pretty simple. I cut off some extra images that you're going to see right there. Sorry that I left them there because that looks a little cluttered. But my daughter Cora came and decided she wanted to color with me, so I just gave her some images and she's sitting right next to me. If you see some random colors pop up that I'm not using, that's because she's using them. I'm using the warm grays for the costume here, so I did a little bit of W1, just a tiny bit of W3 where the hair would or the mane would overhang, wherever there would be casted shadows. And then I blended it out with the 0 to make sure I kept enough of the white because this would be a white unicorn. Did the face in the same colors, and then I realized that I totally forgot the arms and the legs on the costume. And then I'm going to use some darker warm grays, so I think it was W5 and 7 for the hooves and the snout. I skipped ahead with the hair and the horn there a little bit because first I colored it yellow. I'm going to change that to green so it coordinates better with the card base. So I stamped out a sentiment. I cut a couple different circle dies and I'm just trying to get my placement down and how I want these. I felt like I needed a little something to connect the 2 of these characters together. So I'm going to use the there's a cute little pumpkin basket stamp, and so I'm going to color that up and add that to where they're holding it in between them. And here's where I changed the hair to green. So I was originally thinking yellow because that complements purple, but I needed to bring that green in one more time so that the card looked more cohesive. So I just picked a yellow green. I thought that since the Copics are pretty transparent, I thought that would cover the yellow pretty well, and it definitely did. If anything, I think I could have added, I think that was YG13. I think I could have added some YG67, or maybe it's G67, to add a little more depth to that shading. I think I did YG13 and YG23 here. So then I decided that just the white die cut was kind of boring, so I decided, okay, well, let's give a moon a try. So I have W1 here, and I'm just putting some squiggles all over it. I'm going to add in some W3 for some darker craters. And then I will go back over the whole moon. Well, not the whole moon. I'll actually go over just a lot of the W3 and soften that out so that the lines aren't so sharp. And then I'm going to take the colorless blender, the 0, and go over the entire moon. So you can see that I really go to town here. I probably should have done a little less because after the 0 sinks in, it wiped out quite a bit of the moon. And so once I have it adhered down to the card base, I'm actually going to go back in and add a little bit more detail back into that since I blended it out a little too much. So you couldn't really tell it was a moon once I had the characters on it. So I went ahead and stamped Halloween onto that little flag die that you see there. And I believe that's My Favorite Things sentiment strip. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp Happy straight onto the moon. So I went ahead and cut out that little pumpkin basket. I colored that. I stamped Happy onto the moon. I'm going to pop up the Halloween sentiment strip. And the moon I'll adhere directly to the card base. And then I'll pop up the 2 characters and the pumpkin basket so that they have some dimension. So here I'm going to add the little pumpkin, and I put it in front of both of their hands, and I went ahead and took my pictures with it like that. And it really wasn't until after that that I realized it doesn't really look like they're holding it. So I brought the unicorn's hand forward so that one of them is overlapping the basket and the other is behind. And that looked a little better, a little more realistic to me. So here you can see I'm just adding a little more of that W1, the W3, and then I do soften it just a little bit with the 0. And I feel like you can see that that's a moon a little bit better. And that's the finished card. I went ahead and added a few ghost sequins and star sequins. You can see those up there in the corner. And I'll add what mix that is. But I think it turned out so cute. I think these cards are the perfect size for small scenes like this. I hope you enjoyed this card. If you did, hit the like button below and subscribe. Also subscribe to my Instagram at Notable Ink and Facebook at Notable Ink LLC and my blog at notableink.com. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for stopping by.